Coming to you live from an undisclosed location deep in the heart of Central Texas, you've entered the Bender Bunker, where there's no tabs, no slow motion, no split screens, just you and I trying to learn the B-Bender one video at a time together, and always living by the motto that it is never too late to go on a bender. Showtime. Howdy, and welcome back to the bunker. And what I consider to be the first lesson I'm posting, I'd post a product review and I'd posted kind of the building blocks of B-bending, and I hope you watch that because all three shapes I review in that video are going to be used in this lesson today. And I'm calling this Mooney Part 1. This will be a two-part lesson. This is the first half of the entire lick, and then hopefully in the next week or so I'll post the second half and bring it all together. Now, when I watch tutorial lesson videos on YouTube, I like it when the presenter gets to what they're going to do pretty quick so I can make a decision if I want to stick around. So I'm going to play the lick here just in a second. You can decide if it works for you. And if not, you can pull the ripcord and get back to, humorous dog and cat videos. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to judge. So this is what the lick's going to be, and you can decide if it works for you. Here we go. So there you have it. It works for you. Stick around. I'll be teaching you that, and by the end of this video, you'll be playing that lick, no problem. If not, I'll catch you next time. All right, so you've decided to stick it out and try and learn the Mooney Part 1 lick, and I appreciate that. We're going to get right to it. Just kind of the genesis of this lick is, and why we call it the Mooney, is because I listen to a lot of steel players. That's what, obviously, along with a lot of folks, that's what led me to the B-benders. I love, imitating pedal steel whenever possible. And so Ralph Mooney is, of course, well-known and well-respected, one of my favorite steel players. He's no longer with us, but Ralph Mooney was one of the greats, in my opinion, of country and western music. And I caught myself really listening to what I believe to be his playing on the Waylon Jennings song, Rainy Day Woman. And if you haven't listened to Rainy Day Woman, you owe it to yourself to go to YouTube right now and take care of that problem and get back here after you listen. I'll wait for Waylon every time. Okay. And then as I finished that song, being a big Marty Stewart fan, I realized that, boy, Marty did a song a lot like that called Little Heartbreaker, and I believe he did it as what you might call a homage, because he's actually got Ralph Mooney on that song as well, and they sound very similar. So listening to Rainy Day Woman and Little Heartbreaker kind of back to back really got me in the mood to pick up the B-bender and start coming up with licks in that style, and that's why we call it the Mooney. So here we go with Part 1. We are going to be up here. I'm going to go up close so you can really see what's going on in the fretboard action. We're going to be on we're only using the top 3 strings, so that's good news. And we're going to start on the G string on the 9th fret. And then we go up to the 11th. And then we're going to go B string with these 3 notes, high E with these 2. And then we're really going to be working around this D chord shape that we talked about in the building basic video I did. But again, G string, 9th fret, and here's kind of the run I need you to start with. Not a big deal, right? So let's work on that run. Now we're going to start it. In that run, the only string I'm hitting twice is the very beginning first string, and I'm kind of doing that to mimic a steel attack. So it'd be. So let's work on that. Again, it's just. But I'm hitting the first note twice. Now, when I get to the top of that run, I'm on the B string on the 12th fret, and that's where we're going to activate the bender. Again, when I activate the bender in these videos, keep your eye on that because you'll see it go up and down as I activate it. So here we go. Back up so you can see it a little bit better. Now, keep that B bender fully activated. And we're going to put our index finger on the high E on the 9th, and they're going to drone off each other as we rock the bender. So try and do that to see if you can get that sound. Now, with the bender fully activated, we're going to be on the high E string, and we're going to do this move here with the 9th and 10th fret. And with the bender activated, we're going back to the B string on the 10th fret and letting it down. And then back to the G string where we started, which of course is making that D shape. Okay, so there you go. That's really the first part of it. Good news. The next part of what we're going to learn right now is really basically that, but just lower on the neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the B string on the 7th fret, and we're going to drone that out with the high E on the 4th, the same way we were droning the 2 up here. And it's going to sound like this. And then the same move we did up before. So the high. So I'm not hitting the exact same amount of notes, but I'm pretty much doing the same thing. So, from the top. And there you have it, part 1 of the Mooney lick. And we're going to go into part 2 here now, but practice after a little bit. And here we go with part 2. All right, here we go, part 2 of the Mooney 1 lick. And it's not going to be too tough. So basically, let's take it from where we were coming out of the first half, which was. Now, when you do that and complete that part of it, I need you to think about getting your middle and ring finger up to the high E and the B string on the 7th fret. So I've got my ring finger on the high E and my middle finger on the B string of the 7th fret, because that's where the fun begins for this next part of this thing. So we're. Next part is. So. We also have our finger up here ready to go on the high E string of the 9th fret, because we're really going to start this part of it by hitting the B string on the 7th, and then we're immediately going to be going back and forth with the high E on the little finger on the 9th. Now we're going to hit the B string and bend it with the bender. So that's really what we're doing. B string bending, bender back and forth. And the next part will be. And that's just going to be the B string on the 7th going with the high E on the 5th string. So the bender being. And then finishing on the B string on the 5th. Now it's kind of up to you how you like to do your bending. You can over-exaggerate it, make it kind of a more smooth thing. It's up to the individual. You know, if you want to really exaggerate that you're on a B bender, that's up to you. So again, coming out of the bottom section of that first one. All right. Now here's the lick as we know it up till now. All right. So that's the second part. Get ready for part 3, the last. All right. The third and final part of the Mooney 1 lick, and here's a little trivia about it. There's absolutely no B bending involved. Okay, so it might make things a little easier. So again, we're going to come out of the second one we just learned, which of course was this fan favorite. And then here's the final part of Mooney 1. E and an A, this looks an A. So really what this is I'm hitting the high E string open. I'm kind of giving it a little, not really like that. I'm just kind of got my finger on. I'm giving it a half mute, half unmute. Oop, that's our harmonic. So it's high E, and then my middle finger is going to be on the G string on the 4th fret, and then it's going to go down to my index finger on the G string on the 2nd frets. So high E. Now obviously on the G string on the 4th fret, I'm coming into it already kind of a half step bend down. So again. And then we're going 1 string down to the D string, but we're staying with the 2 and 4 frets. Now we're on the D string. So here we go. And that's just a pull off. I'm starting with my index finger there on the 2nd fret on the D, and then I'm kind of so I'm pulling off that 4th fret with my ring finger. And then I'm ending the whole thing on the 2nd fret of my A string to the open A string. And I'm doing a little up bend on that as I get into that. So again, the whole lick. So again, this is kind of in a slower tempo. This is what it sounds like coming out of that 2nd piece. And I'm going to just go ahead and throw the whole thing out there to bring it all together. So here we go. That sucked. So there you have it, a Ralph Mooney inspired lick. We're using a lot of the shapes, especially that D chord shape there and there. You know, it's kind of covering a lot of bases. You're starting up here on the neck, you end up all the way down here on the open A string. So you're covering a lot of territory. You're getting a lot of good bender action in there. And again, this is half of the lick. There's another half coming. This is the Mooney 1. There's going to be Mooney 2, and then we're going to tie it all together, and it's a lot of fun because we're already down here now, and we're going to try and start working our way back. So I hope you enjoyed that, and remember, if you're enjoying the ride, hit subscribe. And as always, never too late to go on a bender.